Welcome to Spectrum News Within the Week. I am Rita Inung, coming to you live from Uyo. Let's take a look at the headlines. President Bola Tinubu appoints Muhammad Babangida, 4 others as chairman of federal agencies. Governor Umar Eno inaugurates 10.4 kilometers Idoro-Upum road project. Plus, UN mourns Buhari, lauds role promoting regional peace, security in West Africa. Details of these stories and more in a moment. Welcome back to the news within the week on Spectrum TV. First in the news this week is a report that President Bola Tinubu has appointed Muhammad Babangida, son of the Bank of Agriculture, signaling a new phase of leadership at the institution as part of ongoing reforms in the agricultural sector. This was disclosed in a statement by the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onauga. The statement also announced the appointments of several other individuals to leadership roles in federal agencies, including Lydia Musa, Chairman Oil and Gas Free Zones Authority, Kaduna State; Jamilu Aliyu, Chairman National Educational Research and Development Council, Kano State; Yahusa Inuwa, Chairman Standard Organization of Nigeria, Kano State; Sanusi Musa, SAN, Chairman Institute of Peace and Conflict Resolution, Kano State, amongst others. Meanwhile, the remains of former President Muhammadu Buhari was received in Nigeria from London by President Bola Tinubu in Daura, Katsina State. The late President from the United Kingdom, accompanied by Vice President Kashim Shettima, President Bola Tinubu, Katsina State Governor Diko Umar Rada, senior government officials and members of Buhari's family were present at the Umaru Musa Yaradua Airport to receive the body, which departed the UK. Recall that former President Buhari died in London on Sunday, July 13, 2025, following a brief illness. He was 82 years old. In a related development, Vice President Kashim Shettima, Governors Diko Rada of Katsina State and Babagana Zulum of Borno State led other mourners to Dauria for the Fidao prayer of the late President Muhammadu Buhari in Daura on Wednesday. Other top dignitaries at the prayer were former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Governor of Anambra State and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party in 2023, Peter Obi, and the former Governor of Kaduna State, Nasir El-Rufai. Others include the former Governor of Katsina State, Aminu Bello Masari, the Director General of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, Buba Marwa, Emir of Daura, Farouk Umar Farouk, former Army Chief of Staff, Yusuf Tuku Baratai, former Minister of Justice, Abubakar Malami, the former Minister of Communication and Digital Economy, Aliyu Isa Pantami, Senator Abdulaziz Yaradua, and also in attendance were former Aviation Minister Hadi Sirika, former NIA Director General Ahmad Rufai, and Deputy Governor of Katsina State, Farouk Jobe. Religious and traditional leaders already seated and ready to lead in the prayer. In another development, the federal government within the week disclosed that over 420 federal roads, bridges and other infrastructural projects have either been completed or significantly advanced under the administration, known in a goodwill message delivered by his representative Ashley Emenike at the opening ceremony of the 33rd Engineering Assembly, organized by the Council for the Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. On Tuesday in Abuja, themed Advancing Quality Engineering Services and Businesses in Nigeria, Professionalism, Compliance and Remunerations. The annual event drew professionals from across the country to deliberate on engineering ethics, infrastructure, standards, and national development. Mpigi hailed engineers as indispensable drivers of Nigeria's development, noting that their work forms the backbone of the country's economic growth, infrastructural expansion, and industrial advancement. It also declared that the Nigerian engineers are not merely a central role in policy making. Meanwhile, the Federal Ministry of Arts, Culture, Tourism and Creative Economy on Wednesday issued a formal disclaimer distancing itself from a recent publication alleging strained diplomatic relations between Nigeria and the United Arab Emirates, UAE. In a statement signed by the minister, Anatu Musawa, the ministry described the article as misrepresentative and not reflective of the cultural exchange. Contrary to the claims made in the article, the ministry also clarified that the federal government has not received any official notification regarding changes to the UAE's visa policy for Nigerian citizens. Reaffirming Nigeria's commitment to global tourism collaboration, the ministry states international allies. And now to the Red Chambers, where the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, within the week, approached the Court of Appeal to challenge the ruling of the Federal High Court in Abuja, which ordered the recall of Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan to the Senate, following her suspension. In a notice of appeal filed at the Abuja Division to the Appellate Court, Akpabio is seeking to overturn the July 4th judgment delivered by Justice Binta Nyako. Akpabio's legal team is contesting the High Court's jurisdiction, insisting that the matter concerns the internal affairs of the National Assembly and falls outside judicial purview as provided under Section 251 of the 1999 Constitution. In the 11-ground appeal, Akpabio faulted the lower court for dismissing his preliminary objection and for issuing orders affecting parliamentary procedures protected by the law. He argued that issues related to suspension, words spoken during plenary, and Senate resolutions are safeguarded under the Legislative House's power and privileges, act cannot be subjected to judicial interference. He also faulted the trial court for allegedly breaching his right to a fair hearing by raising issues not argued by any of the parties, including the question of whether Akpoti Uduaghan's suspension was excessive. Akpabio said the judge erred by making recommendations for her recall without allowing both sides to address the issue. Meanwhile, the lawmaker representing Kogi Central, Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan, was dismissed. The appeal filed by the Senate President Godswill Akpabio seeking to overturn a federal high court ruling that ordered her reinstatement to the Senate. Recall that the High Court had described Akpoti Uduaghan's 6-month suspension as excessive and without legal justification. And from the judiciary, a federal high court in Lagos on Wednesday discharged and acquitted former Ekiti State Governor Ayodele Fayose of all charges in his long-standing money laundering case brought against him by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. The court upheld Fayose's no-case submission effectively, ruling that prosecution failed to establish a prima facie case against him in warrant for the defending. Fayose has been standing on trial allegations on money laundering as the governor. However, after years of legal proceedings, the court found that the evidence presented by the EFCC was insufficient to sustain the charges. In politics, the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar this week resigned from the People's Democratic Party (PDP), predicated his resignation on the trajectory that the party had taken. He is currently a key member of the opposition coalition. Atiku's resignation letter was dated July 14th and addressed to the PDP chairman of his ward, Jada local government area of Adamawa State. He disclosed that the PDP has diverted from its founding principles. In another development, the chief has urged Trans-Niger Pipeline TNP host communities to protect national assets located within their areas. That made the appeal at a monthly stakeholders meeting organized by Pipeline Infrastructure Nigeria Limited in Port Harcourt. Represented by Navy Captain Lasi Ozevehe, he said the effects of oil bunkering and pipeline vandalism were mostly borne by the host communities themselves. He noted that the environmental and health risk from pipeline damage affects locals more than the oil companies operating in the region. The CDS praised PINL for its consistent efforts in securing the assets, particularly its record of zero infractions on the Trans-Niger pipelines. Back here, Akwa Ibom State Governor Pastor Umar Eno on Wednesday inaugurated the 10.4-kilometer Idoro-Ukum-Abak Road project in fulfillment of his campaign promises to complete all projects inherited from the immediate past administration of Udom Emmanuel, and is resolved to ensure that infrastructures are put in place to open up rural communities and boost economic and agricultural activities in the state. Governor Eno, who spoke at the inauguration of the project, said, though the project was very challenging, he was happy that it had successfully been completed. The governor, who commended the contractor and the State Commissioner for Works for a job well done, reiterated his promise to the people to connect the rural communities to the urban centers, just like he will keep connecting the center of Akwa Ibom to the center in Abuja. While commending President Bola Tinubu on his economic reforms in the state, Governor Eno said the project would have been possible without the support of President Bola Tinubu, who has released funding to the state to enable the government to deliver the dividends of democracy to the people. The governor maintained that having completed the political movement, his administration will continue to ensure that Akwa Ibom stands to benefit from the movement. He also used the occasion to announce plans of building youth-friendly centers across the local government in the state.
We keep connecting our rural communities to the center, just like we keep connecting the center of Akwa Ibom to the center in Abuja. We want to thank you for your understanding. This would not have been possible without the support of the President, Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, who has released funding to the state so that we can go on to complete our project. We will, in the next few weeks, flag off youth-friendly centers in all of our local governments. And working with the chairman of ALGON, each local government chairman will give us a space within their local government so that we can build youth-friendly centers for our young people. They will now be able to go there and carry out the activities to be like a youth town square, where they will have innovation center, they will have digital center. We'll be able to meet with our youth and counsel them.
Government House correspondent Jane Uwa reports that in their remarks, stakeholders from Uyo and Abak local government areas took turns to commend Governor Eno for his compassionate disposition. They assured the state leader of their unalloyed loyalty and support to his government.
Back to Bomabak by this Pepsi junction had been in a very terrible state. And Your Excellency, people laid protests. The tallest man who came to pray here was the leader of the protest. He was the one who led indigents of this area to protest, to tell the former governor, the immediate past governor of Akwa Ibom State, that once they opened the flyover, that they will abandon them. This was a major diversion that was used during the period of construction of that flyover. So, Your Excellency, the very past governor asked me to go and stand as a shorty with the former chairman of ABAC, Honorable Kerete Yang. And I'm very happy, Your Excellency, today that you have come to inaugurate this road, a brand new road that you have done for Uyo and Abak and all the people that will pass through this road. Your Excellency, you have done well for Abak. Your Excellency, this road gives us access to 2 major health delivery service centers. Mercy Hospital Abak, General Hospital Ubom. Your Excellency, I want to tell you that because of this bad road, health services in those hospitals were not going well. The doctors couldn't go for their job. The nurses, I remember that 2022, when some nurses called me that they were led by criminals along this road when they were coming back from their night duty. because of the bad road. Your Excellency, you have done so well. I am happy because you listen to God and you have not allowed bad history to venture into the climate of Akwa Ibom State. You have brought us together along political divide to give us a platform and a voice to represent our people in peace. Sambo yabo ngudiyong fien. Yabo ngudiyong fogfo. And let me say a very big thank you for the road that you are about to commission. 10.4 kilometers. Saidere Togo Amin feet. You stepped your foot on the ground to see to it that it is done.
Meanwhile, the police command within the week rescued a 75-year-old kidnapped victim from captivity in Ikot Abasi local government area of Akwa Ibom State. Briefing journalists at the state police headquarters in Ikot Akpan Abia, the Commissioner of Police, Baba Azare, confirmed the rescue. He attributed the success of the operation to what he described as the gallant efforts of his officers and men, noting that the command is intensifying efforts to apprehend the fleeing kidnappers.
And with gratitude and relief as we announce the safe rescue of a kidnapped victim who was abducted from his home in Okotabasi at about 0200 hours in a deeply traumatic incident. Thanks to the swift action and bravery of our dedicated police officers, the victim was intercepted and rescued from the kidnappers along the road in southern Annan before further harm could be done. This rescue is a powerful reminder of what is possible when our security forces remain vigilant and committed to their duty. The success of this operation was as a result of timely intelligence, quick coordination, and the courage of those on the front lines. Each of these men that took part in this operation will receive commendations award accordingly. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, this is a Browning pistol that was recovered from the kidnapped suspects, even though they took to their heels.
While commending the divisional police officer and men of the division for their bravery, the police commissioner warned criminal elements to steer clear of the state, stating that the command would not hesitate to deal decisively with anyone found engaging in criminal activities.
In the midnight of we wake up to open the door, see about 4 men entering there with gun, then command us to lie down and bring the money. So they command us to bring the money. Then the money where we sell something for some days, they gather the whole money and gather the whole phone, about 2 or 3 phones. So from there, after that, they arrest me, carry one of my clothes, tied my face, then drag me into my car, 505. Then 2 of them entered with me at the back. Then they drove out. Then I turned the DCO and those policemen will intercept them. Then from there, they take care of me. They pursue them, drag me out. As they don't flee away, they take me to Ekparakwa. They take care of me throughout the night. So I thank God on behalf
Speaking with newsmen, the rescued victim recounted his terrifying ordeal at the hands of the abductors. He expressed gratitude to the Nigerian police for their swift action, which, according to him, saved his life. Meanwhile, a certificate of honor and commendation was presented to the Superintendent of Police, Kingsley, and his men for a job well done. Many thanks for staying tuned, and now we take you to the rest of the news stories. And now to Africa, a new wave of violence Still to come in the news, IMF predicts 0.5% GDP revenue loss for Nigeria. Stay tuned for details of this in a moment.
Broadening your horizon is what every living being not only genuinely desires, but heartily pursues and intentionally invests in. For in the gathering of men, only those whose minds are in tune with the dynamics of the past, present, and future innovations, inventions, politics, and governance. Horizon is our obsession. Rescan your decoder now to connect Spectrum Television on the frequency 12589, symbol rate 26250. That is frequency 12589, symbol rate 26250. Polarization horizontal, and join our online community at spectrumtvlive.ng. For further inquiries, please call 0704 158 5642 or 0704 541 7707. Spectrum Television, broadening your horizon.
Welcome back to the news within the week on Spectrum TV, and many thanks for staying tuned. Now to the rest of the news. To Africa, where a new wave of violence within the week erupted in Sudan's North Kordofan state, with activists reporting that almost 300 people have been killed in attacks that began over the weekend. The Emergency Lawyers, a Sudanese human rights group, say the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces launched coordinated assaults on villages surrounding the city of Bara, which is currently under RSF control. It said in Shag al-Nom village, more than 200 people were reportedly killed, either shot or burnt to death in arson attacks. Meanwhile, the South African government has been placed on high alert following intelligence reports suggesting a potential military coup plot. The Minister of Presidency, Kumbunduzo Nshavni, disclosed this while presenting her department's budget vote in Parliament. Nshavni said the country's security cluster is monitoring the situation and has implemented preventive measures. She assured lawmakers and the public that the situation is under control and the country's security is not under immediate threat. Despite the prevailing political tensions, Nshavni added that the steps have been taken to mitigate the risk and the government remains committed to safeguarding national stability and democratic institutions. Still in Africa, France within the week formally handed back its last military bases in Senegal, leaving the French army with no permanent camps in West Africa and Central Africa. Ending the French army's 65 years in Senegal, the pullout comes after similar withdrawals across the continent, with former colonies increasingly turning their backs on their former ruler. Around 350 French soldiers, primarily Turks,